One of the key indicators of Africa's ambition is the development of flagship infrastructure projects such as the Nairobi Railway City project. Shortly, I will announce the expression of interest for this development, offering a unique opportunity to engage in a flagship public-private partnership program. Covering over 400 acres, Nairobi, in the heart of the city, Nairobi Railway City is envisioned as a transit-oriented development with integrated commuter rail, bus rapid transit, and pedestrian infrastructure. It will feature a multi-purpose arena, conference facilities, hotels, and retail spaces, aiming to establish Nairobi Railway City as a vibrant, round-the-clock business and entertainment hub. It will also include an innovation and knowledge district for tech startups and research and development hubs. It will provide sustainable, affordable housing to meet the demands of rapid urbanization in Kenya while ensuring seamless and cost-effective urban mobility. This project is set to transform our capital city and create 10,000 employment opportunities at its core. Kenya is home to one of the most advanced financial ecosystems in Africa, with mobile banking, digital payments, and fintech innovations that have expanded financial inclusion to over 84% of adult population, up from 26% in 2006. Our capital markets are increasingly active and liquid. Nairobi hosts regional operations for global banks, investment firms, and insurance companies. We are expanding these platforms through regulatory innovation, digital integration, and regional harmonization under the East African Community Framework. Investing in agriculture-led industrialization can enhance domestic food resilience and secure food security. According to estimates by the Africa Development Bank, FAO, and McKinsey, Africa's agribusiness market could grow from US $300 billion in 2010 to US $1 trillion in 5 years, that is in 2030. This dual reality shows clearly that Africa's growth path cannot be either or proposition. We cannot choose strictly between investing in services or supporting our primary industries. That would be a counterproductive and false dichotomy. We must do both simultaneously. Allow me to share the Kenyan perspective, which is certainly relatable to many African economies. Our experience suggests that while investing in services sector is necessary, it is not sufficient to address the urgent challenges of poverty reduction and unemployment while achieving meaningful economic growth. For example, over the past 30 years, formal employment in Kenya has remained relatively stagnant at about 3 million people, while employment in the informal sector has grown dramatically from fewer than 2 million people in 1990 to 17 million people today. In Kenya today, we are modernizing agriculture to increase productivity, enhance food security, and develop agro-processing value chains that add value and create decent jobs. We are also advancing industrialization to build competitive manufacturing capacity, substitute imports, diversify exports, and anchor resilient local supply chains. We are supporting micro, small, and medium enterprises to transition into the formal economy, unlocking access to finance, access to markets, and building skills. For instance, through our affordable housing program, we are currently building 150,000 housing units across the country, financed with locally mobilized resources. This initiative has already generated more than 250,000 jobs across the entire housing value chain, stimulating economic activity and livelihoods nationwide. We have mobilized resources locally. If we were to borrow the money we are using in our affordable housing program, we would still be having meetings in capitals. We would not have started building the first house 2 years down the road. But today, we have signed contracts to build 150,000 houses. We have $2 billion of contracts signed. We have a pipeline of 700,000 houses. We have 250,000 young people working, and the numbers are growing every other contract when it is signed. It speaks to the power of what domestic mobilization of resources can achieve. Under the same program, about Kenya shillings 11 billion, that's about US dollars 85 million, has been specifically ring-fenced to support the informal sector, locally at home known as the Juakali sector, empowering artisans and small enterprises to benefit directly. I had an occasion to speak to one of the Juakali enterprises. These are people who in the past did not have an opportunity to make any useful contribution. The last contract they signed with our affordable housing program was a 720 million shillings program. That is what corporates, those are the kind of contracts corporates sign. But this is now available to small enterprises, companies that have 15, 20, 30 people. They now have scaled up their operations. At the same time, we are accelerating investments in high-value service sectors, such as ICT, financial services, logistics, education, and the creative economy to deliver the next wave of growth, employment opportunities, and societal health. Here in the United Kingdom, for instance, more than 80% of GDP in 2023 was generated by services sectors such as finance, professional services, technology, and retail. Traditional sectors like agriculture and extractives accounted for less than 2% of GDP. This reality is not unique to the UK. In many upper middle income economies such as Brazil, China, Mexico, Thailand, and many others, services now account for more than 50% of their gross domestic product. The leading drivers of value creation in these economies are no longer extractives or primary industries, but sectors that leverage knowledge, innovation, and human capital. This trend signals that the future of global economic competitiveness lies in investing in services, technology, and human capacity to innovate and solve complex challenges. Nonetheless, we must also recognize that primary industries and manufacturing remain vital and indispensable, especially for developing economies. In sub-Saharan Africa, agriculture still employs nearly half the workforce and contributes between 20 and 40% of GDP on average. In Kenya, agriculture contributes 22% to our gross domestic product, while more than 40% of our population is employed both directly and indirectly in the sector. In fact, 70% of our rural population depends on agriculture for their livelihoods. Our tea, coffee, horticulture, and livestock sectors generate essential foreign exchange, ensure food security, and sustain millions of livelihoods. Minerals and other extractive industries also remain significant, providing vital revenue for many African nations and anchoring fiscal stability.